What is going on, YouTube? It is Obiss, and I'm here bringing you a little bit of that crispy, low-quality content that you've grown to love and enjoy. Today we are talking about Dark and Darker, and I am going over an interview that Onepeg did with Terry from Iron Mace Games. And first off, I wanted to start by saying thank you to Onepeg and thank you to Terry for putting on these interviews. It is very much appreciated from the entire community. And yeah, you guys have my love and respect for doing this. Thank you guys so much. And hopefully you guys enjoy this condensed version of the interview. So firstly, I wanted to start off this segment by highlighting how many users there were. There were 1 million unique users, and Sacriel actually asked about this right here.
Did I read that you had over 1 million uniques on Steam?
Yeah, this time. So
that's awesome.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. For a fourth round playtest or whatever, you know. I mean, that just means you guys are making something special, man. You got a lot of people addicted to what it is that you're creating, and that's pretty cool.
The next thing I want to cover is the Cave Troll solo map. Okay, so the Cave Troll solo map is actually not B1, so don't be confused with that. The Cave Troll is actually not the B1 map, so it's not part of the first set of maps from the first playtests that we've had so far. This is a separate solo map with the Cave Troll boss on it for solo players. Completely new dungeon.
And then we have this image of the troll boss, the cave troll boss, and it looks like he's in a cave. So we were thinking like troll boss in B1. Does that mean that that's coming with this playtest?
Yes. I'll let you know. It's not B1. Okay, so that's the twist. So that's what the cave troll is hinting about.
So completely separate dungeon.
It's going to be a completely new dungeon.
So for solo players.
For solo players.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
The next thing I want to talk about is the Bard. The Bard is not in this playtest. They couldn't get around to working on the Bard. They were working on quality of life stuff. That's basically it. There is nothing to be said on the Druid either. I'll try to find a few pictures of the Druid. I'm hoping that that's going to come in. The only other thing on characters was the Sorcerer. The Sorcerer is, in fact, going to be coming at some point. It's going to be some type of counterpart to the Wizard. The Wizard is going to be an overall class, like an overall spell class, and the Sorcerer is going to be a more precise spell class that can use fewer spells but more potently with more effect.
So the other thing that Chad has been spamming me about, bards.
Bard?
The Bard.
Yeah. Again, so obviously just because we haven't been focused on content, there's not going to be a bard this time.
No bard for this one. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Okay.
Hopefully next time. Yeah, hopefully next time.
Right here, Terry and Onepeg talk about spells and if there's anything coming, and there's not much to be said. He says 1 or 2 are coming, maybe, possibly, but not 100%.
Will there be any like new spells or perks or anything like that being added for this one for any of the classes that you can think of?
Not much. Yeah.
Okay.
Again, yeah. I mean, there might be like 1 or 2.
The next thing to go over is the Party Finder, and no longer needing to spam people for random groups. So the Party Finder is coming. There is some type of system coming in, so you can chat beforehand, is what Terry was saying. And you can figure out if you do actually, in fact, want to party with these people. And on top of that as well, there's going to be a karma system now. So if you go in and you do team killing, your name will get highlighted in red, and your team will know that you are a team killer, or your potential team will know that you are a team killer. And you are going to have a terrible time trying to find teammates after that.
And so the other thing with VoIP that we're adding this time is an in-game party finder, so you don't need to just go and just start spamming invites to everyone. Is that we'll actually have like an in-game chat room, and you could inspect other people, and it's separated by regions, and so
Nice, that's cool.
and to I guess, supplement that is that there's going to be a karma system.
Oh.
So if you team kill too many people, like your name will turn red. So it'll be very hard for you to. I mean, you probably need to do a lot of convincing to get people to party up with you. So these are experimental stuff that we're working on. Just because, even though it doesn't add to the actual gameplay experience, because we want to widen the net for new players coming in, is to make it as smooth as possible. These are the things that you could expect with the playtest.
Some other interesting questions. Are we going outside? Terry was asked if we were going outside by Onepeg, and his response was, it was talked about internally, but ultimately still nothing is coming of that yet. So it's up in the air. They like the idea, but who knows?
So I guess my question is, for B1, will we be able to see the sky?
There's actually been that discussion internally, and so again, I don't want to commit because we haven't actually done any real development work yet. But seeing the sky was actually talked about. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
all right. So you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance. There's definitely a chance.
In this little segment of the interview, Terry talks about blocking for an extended period of time, but it's good detail that I was happy to know about, and I'm happy to hear that they are working on it, and I'm just going to let him talk about it.
So we haven't been looking at that actively, so that's something we want to polish up. So basically the way all the blocking and the blocking system works is that all the attacks and stuff have collision tracers, right? And so when it goes through the animation, it'll track where all the tracers go. All the blocking, like the shields, anything that could parry, have the same. They actually have collision boxes, and so we're checking. Okay, per tick is if the path of the weapon animation is actually blocked by the collision, then that's what makes a successful block. At any point, though, it has to be very, very precise. We're using the actual physics engine of the Unreal Engine to calculate this out. And so this is, I think, where we might need to figure out where the polish comes in, is that because we're just being exact, right? And there are issues with the frame rates. So if the server tick rate kind of stutters and stuff, and or there's weapons that are so quick that it goes through the entirety of the motion in like 3 or 4 ticks, right? And so you have these, but I mean we do those calculations, right? So, but I think the main disconnect is that we're using very, very, very precise calculations to do these kind of blocks, but because you're not physically there and you're in that first person view, is that if there was a camera looking out and looking at it, you could actually precisely see why you didn't block it.
Yeah.
Even though you blocked it, like if the tip of the sword glances your forehead, you will take that headshot damage. And so it's a very it's not an issue that could be totally solved just through the logic itself. So we have to start figuring out ways to polish it so it feels better to people. And so those are things that are on the plan, but again, this time.
Right here, Terry's just touching on what he thinks is the time frame that the early access is going to be released. Seems like it's going to be end of April, maybe May. We'll see.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about going early access. I know in the past we've said April, but I'll be very realistic. It's more like end of April or maybe May. That's probably going to be more realistic.
That's fair.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing for us, one of the biggest challenges is going to be B1. In my mind, is like that is a must-have for early access, is to have B1.
All right, so here's the big one. This is the one that everybody's been waiting for, is VoIP. And I'll let Onepeg and Terry just talk about it, but I'll spoil it a little bit. And the answer is yes, it is coming to the playtest, this playtest. So everybody should be pretty excited. Everybody's going to be able to scream at each other and have a great time.
Okay, I've been putting off the question that chat has literally been spamming me the entire time. Voice over IP in the game. This is, by the way, chat.
Yes.
In the last conversation, this was already a thing. It's 100% going to be in the game. All right. So for everybody wondering, it's going to be in the game. It's just a matter of when. So what is the progress looking like on that?
It'll be in the game this test.
It's going to be in the game this test.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes. So again, it's by default, I think it's like the comma or the period key, but you guys will be able to customize it.
Okay.
And so yeah, because
really
I think
important thing about the hotkeys is, especially as streamers, having a hotkey we can use to just press and it mutes the VoIP instantly.
Yeah.
Rather than, oh god, this guy's saying something racist, escape, settings, audio, scroll down, VoIP, turn on.
Yeah.
Having that hotkey is really important.
Yeah. So we internally we realized that it's thanks to the streamers that we've even gotten this far, and so now a lot of our decision making is like, okay, we have to always be in consideration of there's difficult challenges for you guys too, right? And so how do we make it easy for you guys? And so that was a big thing. It's like, that's why I was asking, so it's instant, you press it, it'll just mute it. And then there's the other one where you press it, it switches between just team only or the proximity.
Okay.
So that's what we've been working on the most, is like, we have prior to this, internally, we always use our internal Discord, and we basically banned people, muted everyone, and you have to use the in-game VoIP and to see, how it works. So again, it's our very, very first time implementing, this kind of technology.
Can we use VoIP in stealth? Because I can't wait to be stealthed in a dark room or something, and there's a squad in there, and I'm just like, hey guys, and they're just looking around the room like, what the hell?
Yeah.
In my mind, the way we implement it should work.
It's gonna be awesome. I'm so stoked about that.
Yeah.
Some other things to note that I didn't get on camera here, or that I didn't bother trying to find in the interview. Bulk selling is kind of being worked on. It is in the game a little bit. They are working on that.
So those are kind of the things that we've been really focusing on for quality of life features.
Would it be possible for the gold bags that you can buy to have a larger capacity for the coins that they'll hold?
Well, so again, that's a very easy change for us. So on purpose right now, we're not going to do that just because, giving these kind of restrictions is, So
Mining ore in the game, the cost of the gear for mining and smelting ignots for the gear that you need to make afterwards has been cut, or was cut in half for this playtest at least. Also, quests are being worked on. They're not implemented in this playtest, but they will be in the game at some point. Alright, that is it. That is all for me. What, you thought there was going to be more to this video? Come on now. If you did make it all the way to the end of the video, you probably like my content a little bit. Why not consider giving me that like or that subby? That would be super swell. Anyways, have a wonderful rest of your day. My name's Obiss. Peace.